Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series, and we move into the near end of August, 1987, August 22nd, 87. Here, we see some interesting stuff. We see a cage match. We see a vignette with intended to get Boy Tony over. We see the opening match, which is Tommy Lane against the Spoiler. I don't know if that means that the RPMs are going to be nearly done here. That would make my life easier because I still can't tell them apart when they're side by side. I know that's horrible, but I do have visual impairment, so people that look similar, often unless I'm right in front of you, can be difficult. Hard shots by Lane actually catches him with a short knee, and then Lane goes right after the Spoiler. Spoiler actually takes more punishment in the match than I expect him to. Neck cravat by Lane, who just is holding on to him. Again, they're running about 5 minutes short, 41 minutes and change on this particular episode. Usually 45, 46 is your average on a syndicated program, sometimes up to 48, depending. Anyway, big backbreaker by Lane. Lane is using every bit of his arsenal to get things going in a positive direction. Irish whip and a bit of a crunch time for Lane, and the Spoiler goes to the top with the top rope clothesline that the Undertaker was so well known for. 1, 2, 3. Spoiler with the victory. Vic Steamboat, the brother of Rick Steamboat, against Len Denton, or the Storyline brother anyway. Steamboat is a guy that I was very much exposed to in the New England area growing up. I caught the tail end on an old sports station, I believe it was actually called Sports Channel, of the IWCCW run, and they ran for weeks at a time a Tony Atlas Vic Steamboat match. And I mean, it literally was the same episode for weeks when they stopped producing content. Anyway, so that was my exposure to Vic Steamboat. Steamboat with a hip toss, trying to get more of the martial arts feel. Steamboat, the big challenge for Vic Steamboat that I've found, and this comes into alignment even during this program, he is not a good promo. He is super awkward by 80s standards. He almost acts like he belongs in 2020 with just how and ah. He doesn't really know who he wants to go after, doesn't know what he wants to accomplish. Anyway, Denton does do a good job of keeping him under control. Nice head scissors there. Denton tries to come out the back door to no avail, and Denton is going in that direction. Then we see drop of the knees by Steamboat. Percy Pringle on the outside. Remember, Percy does, in fact, manage Denton 1 count, 2 count, and that goes almost by the wayside with the crossbody by Steamboat, getting only the 2 count. The referee gets distracted. There is a shot from the outside with the cane by Pringle that the camera doesn't fully catch, but we do see Steamboat crumpling in the middle of the ring after passing by the ropes, so we can make a reasonably educated deduction. Steamboat now wants to fire back. We see the decent style comeback, and Steamboat comes up with the victory. The victory, of course, coming after Steamboat manages to hit a big double chop, followed by some shots, and I think manages actually a cross body as a close, and certainly kick to the midsection, and goes to the second rope on the outside for the body splash. And then we move to the next match in the bunch, Killer Brooks and Tony Atlas. This wasn't good the first time around, and you've got a black and yellow, canary yellow outfit on Percy, or jacket anyway, on Percy Pringle. This is not particularly uh, appealing, but anyway, Atlas and Brooks have a hoss fight type match. Brooks tries to slow things down with headlocks early. Atlas comes back and gives him more of same. Percy Pringle is upset at ringside with his walking stick, or whatever you want to classify it. His weapon of choice, anyway. Um, Shots by Brooks. Brooks nails Atlas, and we see a press slam by Atlas. Atlas then goes back to the uh, the ringside area. Atlas does in fact get a victory here, and Percy Pringle is chagrined by this. Cowboy Tony tries to enter a bull ride, does enter, does not win. The bull riding competition gets bucked off rather unceremoniously. Then, as mentioned earlier, the awkward promo with Vic Steamboat, where he really, honestly, if you want to see wrestle junk, then go out of your way to see this. This is not a good thing. Al Perez and or Brian Diaz rather, and Kevin Von Erich in a cage. Al Perez does figure into this, but we'll get there when we get there. And so the spike is to be neutralized in the cage. Kevin Von Erich still your champion, and he's kind of going. Diaz trying to climb the cage. Diaz almost finds himself pinned or whatever very early in. The body scissors that Kevin is so fond and normally used to using is utilized here. You can see families and cheerleaders and all sorts of people in the stadium at Mesquite, and it's clear that at least for this particular occasion with the cage match, things are popular again. Diaz misses a knee drop that he should not have missed if he were planning ahead better. Diaz does the majority of selling for the match. Kevin Von Erich looks really good. Kevin is not your weekly wrestler as much anymore, but it still kind of comes together anyway. Kevin with a back leg kick and a body slam. He goes for the splash to try and get the victory. Diaz gets the knees up, and obviously the victory does not occur in the way that Kevin would have intended it. Anyway, shots by Kevin, and they try to get the match under control. Again, they run a really longish cage match here. Neutralization with the chin lock, and then the attempted use of the spike. Diaz breaks things down and keeps Kevin down quite a bit. Diaz goes to the. They don't use. I will say they do not use the cage nearly as much as, for example, Karrion Flair or Karrion and Gordy. So maybe that's a Kerry thing versus a Kevin thing. Don't really know. Kevin is wearing the yellow Rose of Texas colored trunks. They finally do use the cage, but it's late in the match with about 3 to 4 minutes left in the broadcast. So he finally does use it. Also tries to put the claw on for the second or third time in the match. Kevin has things clearly under control, has the claw in place, and then, we kind of do see Diaz basically passed out in the middle of the ring from the claw, and we kind of see the pull off. The referee puts a stop to it. Actually took a couple of officials to do it. Kevin gets the victory, and from behind, Al Perez comes in, attacks the referees, and takes out Kevin Von Erich, tries to end his career, and Kevin chases after him. That's the way this is going. Anyway, That is the end of this particular broadcast. We'll be back with more right after this.